Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Katie and today I'm going to do a video in my reading journal. I actually haven't done a video in here since I guess the end of February, March, because that's when I finished Mate, and that's the book that I read last, except for obviously the one I'm filming for today. Today is going to be for Quicksilver, which I did read a while ago. I haven't read any books since then. I've kind of fallen off the reading thing. I'm trying to get back into it. It's been a busy time, and honestly I'm not stressing myself about it because reading is a hobby. It's for fun. I'm not gonna go crazy if I haven't read. I do miss the reading. That's the thing, is I miss reading. I wish I had time. I lost my pen. Wait, oh, found it. It's under my sticker book. Okay guys, let's jump into this. So this is my reading journal, and we have to update a couple things. I have not even filled out my bookshelf at all this year. Where is the book of the year bracket? Okay, so let's see. I counted Mate for February, and the only other book I've read since then has been Quicksilver. So, and I read Quicksilver end of February into March. So actually, Quicksilver can go here. And out of these three, Loath to Love You, which was an anthology of short stories by Allie Hazelwood, Mate, which was also by Allie Hazelwood, and Quicksilver, I think Quicksilver is going to be the winner. This was a good book. It is a romantasy. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So it's got world building, and there's a lot to it. It was very good. The second book is already out, but I've been trying to get it since the end of March from my library. I really don't want to pay for it because I do have a library card and I live 5 minutes from the library, but my library also has a cloud library. So let's see, what are we in? I read nothing in April, and we still have time in May as of filming this, so I'm going to leave May alone. But yeah, there's a cloud library as well, but the ebook and the audiobook have also been on hold for 6 months. So I think my best bet is to wait for the book to actually be in the library and then go get it. Although also I could just put it on hold, and I haven't done that. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, let's do a spread on Quicksilver. So this book takes place in, I don't even know if this is it's like a dystopian type society. Obviously it's a romance fantasy book, but I don't know, and there will be spoilers. There's always spoilers in these book videos because I just want to chat with you about it and give my thoughts, and if you've read it I want to hear your thoughts. Although I don't think I will ruin too much. There's so much to this book. The paperback that I read was 624 pages, so there's a lot to it. You will still very much enjoy it even if you watch this video and kind of hear some of the main plot points. But we start off you know what, we need some water. That's what we're going to start with. 5 big sips. Drink your water. Okay, so we start off with our main character. Her name is Saris Fane, and she lives in the city. It's crazy hot. They have 2 sons, and there's this crazy ancient queen who is immortal. And I'm not gonna lie, her name is Madra, which I thought was goofy because what do they make her call her mother? That is so weird. And I didn't think she was real for a lot of the book. She does pop up 200 pages in, and there's this, well, Quicksilver, basically, pool that Saris somehow opens. I'm not gonna, spoil that too much. And she ends up going through this Quicksilver into another realm, and then she ends up in this fairy realm, and that's where the rest of the book takes place. I will say the first 75 pages were a little bit, not slow. I think I have a hard time, especially coming from books like Fourth Wing, where we have 3 or 4 giant books and you're very immersed. Luna, no, come here, baby. Good girl, good girl. She's messing with the cats. Anyway, we have these giant books. We have a whole world. You're so immersed into it, and then you come off of that and you jump into a new world the building and stuff and trying to understand things like a world with 2 suns, and then there's fairies and they don't have 2 suns. And anyway, trying to figure out the worlds takes me a minute. It might not take you that long to get into this book, but it took me like 100 pages. So let's start putting stickers down while I'm chatting. I did print out just a print of some Aurora Borealis because there's a scene with that in the book and I thought it would make a really pretty background. I did print out our characters. This is our girl Saris. She is tough shit. I really like her character. She's funny, and she basically adopts this little fox. He's an Arctic fox, and he is throughout the entire book. He is my favorite character. He's funny. He makes it like charming. It's very cute. And she names him Onyx because he has dark black eyes. And then of course we have, this is the cover of the book. It's by Callie Hart, if I didn't say that. And this is another fan art rendition of our male main character. His name is Kingfisher, which is like a goofy name, but it kind of grew on me as the book went on. These little butterflies are the little, he calls her Osha, which it ends up being, it's kind of like a dig at first, but like secretly a compliment, and by the end it becomes this really sweet thing. And so these are like the Osha butterflies. It's short for a really, really long name, like Osha, similar, I don't know, whatever. It's a really long name, but these are special little butterflies, so I thought these would be pretty to kind of have weaving through. And then I did print out just some pretty quotes. I just go on Google and search Quicksilver quotes and look in the Google images and see if I can find any that are kind of aesthetically pleasing, and I found some that I liked. So let's put this together while we chat. So I wrote down some points here. First thing, yeah, I didn't think Madra was real, because they just talk about her being like this formidable presence. She's like millions of years old or something crazy, but she's not a fairy. Fairies are not real in Saris's world until she goes through the Quicksilver. And until you actually like see her, I really didn't think she was real. I thought that like the monarchy was just like, I don't know, faking her presence to kind of like have control over the people. But no, she's real, and she shows up at the end of the book as well. And then whenever, let's see, how should I go through this? Okay, in the first world, I can't remember what it's called. There's a name, obviously, for the city. I just can't remember what it's called. I read this book a while ago. When Saris is there, she has a younger brother named Hayden. I do not like his character. He's like always in trouble. Literally everyone in this city is like starving, trying to get water. They're having to like gamble and kind of fight their way and cheat and steal to live. And he's over here like playing games all the time while Saris is the only one who takes things seriously. I do not like his character. He annoys me. And he's honestly the reason she ends up at the palace in the first place that goes through the Quicksilver. So like, it's his fault. Don't like him. And then there's Elroy, who is basically the blacksmith that she is apprenticing with, and he kind of takes care of her. Him, I do not mind. So Saris is a trained blacksmith, which kind of comes in handy because there is alchemy in the book, and I guess she is she ends up being like this great alchemist who they haven't had alchemists in forever, and they need her because they need her to be able to manipulate the Quicksilver, which is basically, because I guess I didn't know what Quicksilver was. It's just like silver, but it's special. I don't know, whatever. So that's a little goofy. Maybe we tear this some more. So Elroy we like. And once she disappears through the Quicksilver, she has this whole adventure. And in the end, like, wakes up as a different creature, which is a whole nother thing. But, like, where are Hayden and Elroy? Will the second book give us more on them? I kind of hope so, because I just want to know what happens to Elroy. Hayden can get bent, honestly. And then she goes through the Quicksilver, and basically she's like stuck in this fairy world because they're like, oh, you can manipulate the Quicksilver. We haven't had an alchemist in like a million years. You need to help us because our our town, our army, whatever, we're falling. We cannot keep up with our enemy. Enemy ends up being like vampire fae, like vampire fairies. It honestly creeped me out a little bit, not gonna lie. They basically just use like they prey on like darkness and evil, and it's kind of, it's real creepy actually. And y'all, this is so goofy, but while I was reading this book, my best friend texted me and was like, hey, if you were a vampire and you could only change one person to take with you into the afterlife, who were you choosing? And I was like, well, probably Joel, actually. And she got all upset because I didn't choose her. But I assumed that she was already a vampire also. I guess I didn't realize I got set up. Thanks, Tay. Anyway, so she texts me that while I'm reading a book about vampire fairies. And for some reason, it triggered a nightmare. And I had a nightmare about vampire chickens. Why chickens? I have no idea. But that's what popped into my head. And it was a scary nightmare because chickens were like, there was a bunch of them and they were like chasing me around the yard, and they're vampires. They were trying to like eat me. So I know it sounds crazy and a little like, no, that's not scary. They're just chicken. No, but they're vampire chickens. I promise it was scary. So that happened while I was reading this book. That's pretty. I like that. And I think honestly, when she gets to the other side and she's trying to figure out how to manipulate the Quicksilver and stuff, she went about it so goofy. She started just like mixing things with the Quicksilver. I'm like, that's like, I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't have been my first try. I don't know. But that's how she spends the whole book. Just like mixing things with the Quicksilver, and then it like explodes, and then she has to refine the Quicksilver so she can try again tomorrow. That's like half the book. There's other things happening around it, so it's not boring, but like, so why? Anyway, let's do Ceres up here. Homeboy down here. What's his name? Kingfisher. They call him Fisher for a lot of the book, which makes a lot more sense. And obviously this is a romantasy, so there is romance between Kingfisher and our girl Ceres, and they're like mated somehow. I guess his mother was some kind of like oracle, and our poor boy, he actually was away for a long time, kind of like kidnapped by the enemy, and he had to like be over there in the darkness, and they had him running these like labyrinth mazes, and he was in there for a long time, and like the only light he had was like this thought that he might find Ceres one day, like his mom said, and he gets out of there and then he finds Ceres. It's like a whole thing. It's actually a very sweet book too, the way they like kind of fall in love. And I'm not explaining it well. I'm bad at explaining things. Really, this is just for me to put together a cute spread, kind of chat about the book, and if you've read the book, then you might understand kind of what I'm saying. If you're looking for this video to encourage you to read it, it's probably not going to do that because I'm bad at explaining things. But it was good. I liked it. I'm waiting for book 2. Okay, let me find our quotes. What do we have? We have, he was going to eat me alive. I was going to let him. Because she is moonlight, the mist that shrouds the mountains, the bite of electricity in the air before a storm, the smoke that rolls across a battlefield before the killing starts. Ooh, shivers. I'll be grateful for every second that I can say that I belong to you, Ceres Fane. 80 years or 18 hours, it doesn't matter to me. It'll still be the it'll still be the highest honor of my life. How sweet. And honestly, they don't even like get together till the end, which is kind of frustrating because you want them to be in love the whole book, but they never are. All right, let's do some quotes. Just in some random places. The book is good. There's a lot of like time that they spend on the battlefield. You get to meet the other warriors and stuff and kind of hear some of their stories, and they're interesting. Like sometimes I don't like, this is, you know, me exposing myself. Sometimes I don't like to read side characters. I don't like to hear about their little stories. I don't care. Get to the good part where they fall in love, but I actually cared about these characters. They're all very interesting. They're strong warrior types. The way that they fight and use their like fey magic and stuff is kind of cool. Let me cut some butterflies here. There we go. Maybe not. Whatever, who cares? Okay. Okay, so let's do some butterflies kind of going around the page here. And then the OSHA butterflies. How cute. Yeah, that's cute. I love that. Oh, and you can see the northern lights up here too. And obviously, Ceres does figure out how to manipulate the Quicksilver. She ends up actually talking to it, and it has like sentience, and it's kind of weird, but it's also kind of good. The Quicksilver is like smart and witty. Okay, that's pretty. I do like that. I do have some more butterflies if I need them. For some reason, my printer, whenever I print out the first page, like I didn't print anything yesterday, and then I just sat down today, and the first page I printed, it came out like wonky colored, except for the butterflies. So maybe we'll do more butterflies because I have them. So I went ahead and ran it through my cutting machine here. And then in the end, they end up stealing or kidnapping Kingfisher's sister. You meet her kind of in the beginning when Ceres first gets to the fairyland, but then she kind of like isn't irrelevant. You don't really see her anymore. In the end, she ends up being kidnapped by the enemy, and they all go to get her back. And in that process, you learn that her father is actually the one who like sold her. So it's Kingfisher's stepdad, but Elaine, his sister, it's her biological dad, and he actually like gave her over to this like vampire king who is also in cahoots with Madra. Like all three of these world leaders end up being evil, so now it's like Kingfisher and his little army with Ceres against these world leaders trying to figure things out and do good in the world. So they have to battle their way through this labyrinth. Ceres ends up getting hurt, and the only way to save her is to change her into a vampire. So she ends up getting changed into a vampire, and that's how the book ends. She wakes up as like a vampire fairy alchemist thing, and there are new powers. She is also now like the vampire queen because she killed the vampire king that was there, so that automatically made her the queen. So now she has to like address her people, and that's how the book ends. So I'm imagining Brimstone opens with her addressing her new kingdom. I'm hoping in the next book we're figuring out what her powers are, what she can do. Oh, and there's also, I completely glazed over him, this character named Carrion. He is like an old lover of Ceres, like a one-night stand situation. He's actually kind of annoying, but he's also really funny. I end up growing kind of fond of him. At first I didn't like him the same way I didn't like the brother, but I grew fond of him. So he ends up accidentally in the fairy world with her. And then we learn that he's a high fae. He was like being hidden in the other world, the twin sun world. So I really want to know what he like can do as well, because you kind of find out towards the end he gives up his, he comes out of hiding basically. He gives it up so that he can help fight and do all the things. So that was really interesting. I'm really glad that he was a thing. So overall, loved the book. I'm gonna give it like a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4, just because it took me some time to get into it, and that might be my own fault, but like still. Okay, I've got my little rainbow box book here, and I think I'm gonna pull some like pink, because there's some pink or purple maybe, so that I can write down my little stats. You guys know I like to do that. So let's do maybe a pink here. Yeah, that's cute. And then I also have my little star trackers. So let's do a pink. And we can do that just like here in the middle, because why not? Ooh, that's a little crooked. That I don't think it's gonna peel up very nicely. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, we said 4 stars. So I'm just gonna go like that. And then I read this book, I'm just gonna say, because I don't know the exact dates. I got really bad at putting that kind of stuff in my planner when my mom had her little health flare up. And everything's good and stable right now. We're still doing more testing and waiting on more results for the breast cancer thing. It's still not like 100%. They're just like pretty dang sure. So we're still doing the testing. We have a couple more things to do. They want to do another mammogram and then a biopsy. So all the scans and stuff we've had so far have shown yes, but we just don't know what level and what we're dealing with. But right now she's stable. She's not in pain. She's happy. She's healthy, appearing. She feels good. So, but when all that started coming up, I got very bad at putting this kind of stuff in a planner, which I usually do so that I have it to put in here. And then I usually leave myself room to journal, but I didn't, and that's fine. I'm not going to worry about it because this is just for fun. And then I do want to put, maybe we'll do this light pink up here, and we'll put, where's my pen? There it is. Okay. That this book was 624 pages. I just like to have little stats like this. And then maybe I'll put paperback over here, what type of book it was. There we go. What else do I usually put in here? That's it. The only thing I'm missing is like a journaling spot, but I think it's fine. They don't all have to be the same. Okay, so there we go. This is the spread for Quicksilver. This came out so pretty with like the butterflies and stuff. Pretty happy with that because I just printed out a bunch of random stickers and hoped that they looked good together, and they do. So I recommend. These videos don't get a lot of traction on my channel at all, but there's like 2 of you who like to watch the book videos. So if you're one of those 2 people, hey y'all, have you read this book? Let me know what you think. Are you reading the second one? I will read the second one and probably do a video just because I like to do this. This is fun. I like to, I don't know, I just like to do it. What's in the back of the book? I forgot what I've made. Okay, my DNF graveyard. I don't have anything to add to that. And then we have, okay, I already put Quicksilver under silver or gold for the rainbow challenge. Yeah, we're pretty much caught up. Okay, that's that. All right, you guys, that is everything. Thank you so much for being here today. I enjoyed our time. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.